ArtFight is coming up again this summer, and this year will be my second time participating. Yay! If you don't know what ArtFight is, you basically draw other people's OCs, and sometimes they draw your OCs. And, well, you get points for the drawings you do, but it doesn't have to be drawing. It can be any art medium that lets you portray a character. But anyway, you want to collect as many points for your team as possible. It goes on for a month, and after the month, the points are added up. I had a lot of fun last year, and I'm seeing a lot of posts here on TikTok reminding me of the event, so here I am making my own post about ArtFight. In the background of this video, you can see a speed paint of my persona that I recently redesigned, and she is up on my ArtFight, so feel free to add me there and drop your username in the comments below. My username is SparkleBun. Anyways, although I've only been a part of ArtFight for 1 year, there was still quite a bit of drama going on, and I thought I'd add in my 2 cents. The first problem I saw was people complaining about beginner artists on ArtFight and receiving art from the beginner artists. And no hate, but I feel like it's mostly intermediate artists who are complaining about this non-issue. Yes, the art might not be as technically advanced as some other pieces, or the anatomy might be a little off, but, well, who hasn't been there? When I look back on the things I used to post, I cringe inside. But back then, I was really proud of those drawings, and I think it's just not fair to hate on someone who's trying their best as a beginner. If you really love your OC, I get that you want them to be portrayed as accurately as possible, and if that's the case, you might want to consider taking your OC off of ArtFight and only getting commissioned pieces of that character where you have full control over how your OC is drawn. At the end of the day, ArtFight is a gifting game and anyone can play, and that includes beginner artists. Going on to problem 2, which was a very big problem I heard a lot about in the community, was people changing skin color or just in general changing colors of OCs, but mostly it was an issue with changing the skin color of darker skinned OCs and making the skin color lighter, which honestly is just plain racism. There's no valid reason for this, especially if you do digital art. The color picker exists for a reason and you should use it. I've heard the argument, oh, I do traditional art and I don't have that specific color. Well, you either need to choose the closest possible color that isn't 3 shades lighter, or you need to learn to mix that color, or you need to do a black and white drawing, pencil drawing, where there are no colors. Or the issue might just be that you need to draw a different OC. If you can't portray the character with the correct skin color, maybe you just need to draw a different OC. It's not that hard. Anyways, this is all I could think of right now. These are the biggest issues I saw. If you have any other things that were bothering you about ArtFight last year, then please comment them, and don't forget to comment your user so I can stalk on your profile. Outside of ArtFight, my commissions are open on Vision. I'm trying to get verified in there, so if you're looking for a reference sheet of your character for this year maybe, I can do a reference sheet like the one in the speed paint, which right now is open for 65 euros. I'm really excited about ArtFight this year, and good luck to everyone else who is participating. This is part 2 of issues I saw with ArtFight last year. First, I want to say thank you to everyone who supported the last video and commented. I love reading your comments and following you guys on ArtFight. So your comments reminded me of some other things that were quite problematic about ArtFight, so I wanted to make this part 2. So these are some of the comments I got, and I definitely agree with what you guys are saying. The first point was people being upset for not getting attacked within the first few days of ArtFight. But if we think about this logically, the chance of being attacked in the first few days or even the first week is significantly lower compared to being attacked in the middle of the month or the end of the month. Art takes time, and not everyone has free time all day to draw because they might have a job or something. I personally usually only manage one drawing per week if I'm feeling well, and if not, then it would be less. So I think it's kind of dumb to complain about not getting attacks early on. Adjacent to that complaint is when people complain about receiving no attacks or very few attacks in general. But then you go to their page and they themselves haven't attacked anyone or have only done like 1 or 2 attacks. And like I said before, art takes time, so it's okay if you don't have a lot of time to like make attacks for other people, but you have to be realistic about how the game works. If you don't do any attacks, then you can't get revenged. And if people go to your profile and see it's almost empty, there's sadly a lower chance that they will attack you, which is an issue in itself, and I'll talk about it in a second. But if you want to be attacked, you need to put yourself out there. And my tips are to follow a lot of artists on the site, and usually those people will like follow you back if they like your page and think you have cool OCs. Like they might find interest in your OCs then. Or you need to like post to social media or connect with other artists in comment sections on social media, because if no one sees your page, then they can't like see your OCs and get interested in them to attack them, if you get what I mean. So onto the thing that I mentioned before, you are less likely to be attacked if people see you don't revenge the attacks that you get. And the problem with that is, unfortunately, a lot of users are under the impression that they are owed revenges, and that is simply not the case. ArtFight is an art gifting game. You draw other people's OCs for fun, and there should be no expectations of a revenge. Many people have the personal goal of revenging all attacks, but honestly, I am personally of the opinion that you should not set this goal for yourself unless you are absolutely sure that you like can do this thing, because it does lead to burnout, and it could ruin the fun of the game by turning attacks and revenges into an obligation and make it stressful. I think you should only draw OCs you really vibe with, and you should keep it that way. If a person who attacks you happens to have a cool OC, I think you should go ahead and revenge them, but if not, it's totally okay to pick a different person to attack. The final issue I wanted to address is something I'm going to call the big artist problem in quotation marks. I don't mean that these quote-unquote big artists are doing something bad, like they literally have no control over this problem. But obviously, when an artist with a big following announces they will be joining ArtFight, all of their followers who also do ArtFight and probably some new people will join as well and attack that big artist. And although a lot of people understand what I explained before, that they are not owed a revenge and just see the event as a way to draw some fan art of their favorite artist characters and be involved in the community, some people see it as an opportunity to get free art from an artist that they would normally have to commission to get art. And yes, I know we all kind of have it in the back of our minds that there is usually a good chance that a user will revenge or attack, and you might get some art in return. But when that user is a big artist with thousands, or even if it's just hundreds of followers, they are receiving a huge amount of attacks, and there is no physical way to revenge all of them, even if they wanted to. Some people, sadly, still have the entitlement to expect a definite revenge when that's not how it works. And it's honestly kind of mystifying to me that people have this expectation. I fear common sense has left the room for some people. Anyway, people with, I'd say, intermediate and higher level art also face maybe kind of a similar issue of having people attack them with expectations of getting a revenge. And the whole event kind of turns into a game of how can I get as much free art of my OCs in a style that I like kind of situation. And that's just that's not the point of ArtFight. Like I said before, draw the OCs you vibe with. And my advice to everyone is just bookmark and follow those OCs that spark your interest. And ignore thinking about what benefits you might get out of anything. Just focus on the joy of gifting someone else some art that you made. Okay, that was a hefty one, but I managed to get my thoughts out, thankfully. Thanks for listening to me yap, and as usual, my commissions are open, so if you want some art like you can see in the speed paint, go follow me on vgen.co/sparklebun. I'm currently trying to get verified and just need one more follower and some more good reviews. Hope you have a nice day and or night. Goodbye.